Super excited today because I am with the legend, Wendy.
Ah.
Wendy, the six-figure glammy. Okay. And she's been crushing it in this business. She's made over
I know,
$600,000
right?
in like a year. It's wild. It's so
Blows my
wild.
mind. Yeah.
So if you're watching this and you're sitting out on the fence right now, get off that fence, jump off that fence, and just get involved in legacy, like sooner the better. Because
Right. Absolutely.
after you watch this video, you're just gonna be like, okay. So if you're new here, my name's Dan. I'm from Michigan. I used to be a monk, and long story short, my company cut my pay in half, and so I was left stressed out, overwhelmed, and frustrated. So I went online to figure out how to make money, and that's when I discovered this blueprint. I discovered the legacy program, and I've been doing it for like the past year, kind of like around the same time as Wendy. And now I just help people make money online so they can enjoy life, feel good, be happy, and live a life of freedom, you know?
Right.
So Wendy, let's just get into this. So let's start at the beginning. Before you hit $600,000, I just like to say that number because
I know. When I hit 500, I was like, 500,000. That sounds bigger than 500,000. I mean, either one's good, right? But yay.
congrats. Huge
Thanks.
congratulations. So what were you doing before you found this program and what made you say, yes, I'm all in. I'm going to do this.
Well, I'm a kind of a serial entrepreneur. Like I say that because I probably wrote the book. I've tried everything. So if you want to say, if you want my opinion on things, like I literally have tried everything because about 8 years ago, I became a grandma. And when I did, that really struck me. I don't know if anybody's watching this that's a grandma, but you know the feeling like it's totally different than when you become a parent. Both are wonderful experiences. But when you become a grandma, you realize that where has time gone? Here I am now, a grandma with this little baby. And growing up, like both my husband and I had to work. So in doing so, I had to sacrifice time, like milestones with my kids in the sake of creating an income, in the sake of providing. And I missed things. And then when I saw that little baby, I was like, wait a minute, like I don't want to miss things the second time around. There has to be a different way. And years ago when I did start, I mean, I'm 56 years old now, right? I'm a grandma. And years ago, there wasn't the opportunities we have today. We have so many more opportunities. We just need to embrace them and jump into it. So 8 years ago is when I actually started trying to figure out all other alternatives. I was doing the home party thing. I was trying to sell life insurance. And then I got into the online space and I tried affiliate marketing and I tried Amazon influencer. I tried print on demand, you name it. And those things, I did make a little bit of money, but nothing that would allow me to quit my 9 to 5 so that I could be in control of my time, which is what I was looking for. I wanted control of my time so I could go to little kindergarten graduations, so I could be there if my daughter needed me to watch my little granddaughter. And now I've got three granddaughters. So the time is what was valuable to me. And the money I needed because we were short for retirement because we got our financial act together late. So that is what drove me. That's what drove me. And then I came across this because when I was doing affiliate marketing, I mean, you make a small percent, right? And it, like I said, it's kind of pocket change. I mean, it made me money. It realized that, yay, look at me. I can make money online. So it was good. But when I saw this program and I realized I could make 100% profit, that I wasn't just making this small percent, I could actually make something a lot better. And it taught me multiple ways to open income streams. I thought, this made so much sense. So, and I thank God each day that He brought this to me because it was an answer to our family's prayer. Because now I'm retired. Now I can be that present grandma. I pick up my grandkids from school so that I can just be there while their parents are working and then they come home and they're with me and not some stranger or whatever. I can be there. And it's just the most amazing feeling ever. So that's what led me to the online space, the drive to be more to not miss opportunities and moments like that. Like literally. Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. So what were the biggest challenges you faced early on and how did you push through them?
Early on with this business
Yeah,
or in
yeah,
general
this
for all
business.
my different businesses. Well, you know what? I must say, I the most of my challenges was with the other businesses.
Mm,
And I gotta say that, God doesn't use anything. He takes all of our lessons and if we allow it to be used, right? So all those lessons, all those bumps and lumps, those are really my challenges. I gotta say that learning things like I had a bit of that learning done before I jumped into this because of all my trial and error. So when I jumped into this, one, I saw what it offered and I went, wow, this is like, wow, everything that I needed, that I liked bits and pieces of these other things, but none of it had the whole kit until I saw this. And then, so when I jumped into this, I don't know, it was just like all the prep had been done in my life. So I think that would attribute to some of my success because I've had a lot of failure or trials, right?
mm.
Like, I don't think anybody, if you look at life, there's no success without failure.
Yeah.
So I always embrace something I tried and I pat myself on the back and say, good for you, Wendy. You tried because many people won't. And I've learned. And then I take that lessons and I learn. And so when I started this, it was like all those things were a precursor and it just helped me when I started this to really launch. But when I look at what this program offers compared to what I did try, it's just the learning curve that people have. Like, not that it's a big learning curve, but it is. If you're learning something new, like anything, you got to learn how to ride a bike without training wheels. You got to learn how to ride a bike with training wheels. Then you got to take the training wheels off. And then all of a sudden, I look back and I go, look at me, no hands. Like, so it's just that process. Yeah. And I find if I want to look at people, I go, they don't give themselves enough time and grace and patience to learn what they need to learn,
Yeah,
right?
I agree with
Think
that.
about when you and I went to school. I mean, I went to school, college for 3 years. That's 3 years. And then I had to go and take that information I learned and apply it to a job, right? And then
Yeah.
while you're at the job, you're still learning because now you're taking what you learned and applying it. So they're still learning. So I think people just sometimes, want something quick and
Mm.
it's so much quicker than like offline, but there's still that learning process and that grace and patience you need to give yourself while you do learn.
Yeah, I agree with that. The learning curve is there. For some people, it's faster than others. Everyone's
Yeah.
different on their journey.
Well, and that's because like for me, if you want to say it's fast, it was fast because all people see is when I started this.
Mm,
But there's that 5 years or so before that of all the not so fast,
mm.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, was there a turning point, like a moment, like a mindset shift or a strategy that made things click for you?
Well, I think when I realized that people connect with people, like sometimes you get online and it's so easy to just think that it's, I don't know, not a real person behind the screen because it's not human to human as far as physically. But when you realize there's a human there and you want to connect with another human, when you're able to share your stories and be real about your journey, your lumps and bumps. Like when I share my story, it's relatable. I'm not perfect. I didn't, like I said, I lost money and other people can relate to that. And I'm not too proud to say it. Sometimes it's embarrassing, if I really share like exactly the stupid things I did. But when I realize we all do stupid things, we're all just human beings trying to do the best with what we are given. And then, like I said earlier, those lessons and things are what we do is what if hopefully if we learn from them, then they're not stupid, they're lessons. But yeah, so really, I think that's yeah,
Yeah, there's a good saying in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says, either you win or you learn, right?
right. And
No
that's such a
losing.
good saying. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I say that all the time.
And you fail forward.
Fail
I've heard
forward. Yeah.
that before too, right? I mean, it's not that you're not going to fail. We all fail. We all will. It's a matter of what do you do with that failure? Do you learn from it and fail forward so that you're, getting momentum instead of falling backwards? So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
So you've made over $600,000, but let's rewind to like your first win. Do you remember that? Your first sale?
Yes. And honestly, my first sale, I'm going to say there's two first sales And I'll say this because my one first sale was with somebody I knew. So that is because I tried a bunch of things in the past. And so when you do that, you connect with other people who on those same journeys, right? And so you're both like struggle on that struggle bus trying to figure things out. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, you need to try this. Like, so you share it with people you know because they know you. And so they join. So having a win with somebody you know is one thing. Having a sale with somebody you don't know is like, oh my goodness, this system works. Like that's, because that's the true test. And so when I saw the system working with the training that we're taught, it was like a whole new level of like winning or having sales because that's exactly what we're taught, how to take it step by step, no advertising, you take social media, the free platforms that we're given, and how to show up and be authentically you and speak to that other person that's looking for what you're looking for too. So yeah, it was like surreal.
It's awesome. How's your we have a 2 hour workday, right? Like we teach people how to get their
Yes.
income earning activities finished in 2 hours a day. So what is your approach to the 2 hour workday and has it changed over time?
It has, because when I was started this, I was working full time. So I was trying to get out of my job. So I started in February, the end of February of 2024. And in March really is when I started, actually running the business. So while I was working my 9 to 5, I had, you have limited time in the day, right? I would do like maybe half an hour before work. And then maybe some days, not all days, a little bit on my lunch hour. And then when I got home, a little bit more. And honestly, I'm one of these multitaskers. I had about a half an hour drive to work, so I would pop any training videos in and listen to them while I'm driving. Like I may figure it's dead time. I may as well be pumping my brain with info. So I think in the beginning, I worked maybe more than 2 hours a day because of learning and implementing and just wanting, like I'm an avid learner. Like I just love absorbing info. And then, but when we talk about the 2 hour workday, it's like income producing activity. So it's doing a video, it's replying to emails, it's doing that type of thing. So yeah, I would totally do that around my work day. And then now that I'm retired, which I did that in October of 2024, which I can't even believe it, 55 years of age, retired. Like, it's amazing.
You weren't expecting that.
No, it's amazing what one year will do. Like totally, I dreamed about it. Let's face it. I was going to have to be working past 65 based on our financial reality. To be able to retire at 55 is mind-blowing. It's inconceivable. But now that I'm retired, it's funny, Dan. I love this business so much. I actually put more than 2 hours in because my heart and desire to help other people. So I'll do my income producing activities and then just help others. They might be struggling in this. I help them with that and they're like, oh, that's awesome. And and I find that this community is full of those types of people.
Mm.
Like we tend to attract people that like to help other people. I think it's because Michelle, who created this, she has such a servant's heart. So, you tend to attract who you are, right? And so she just attracts all these people that are just so giving and helpful and want to serve others. So yeah, so I will do my 2 hours of income producing activities and then I spend time just helping, training, showing up and just doing things like that. So yeah.
So what
But
exactly do you
I can
do?
do it around what I do. I can do it around whatever works for me, right? Pick up
Well,
my
you're
grandkids at
retired. You're
3,
free.
whatever. Yeah.
You're
Some
free.
days I absolutely do zero. I gotta say.
Mm.
And that's the beautiful thing, right? You got a days you can do zero, but then another day you do more. And
Mm.
then, it kind of levels
But
itself
what do
out.
you usually do like during your 2 hour workday, like your income
Oh,
earning?
what do I do? Okay. So I've been merging myself over to YouTube. So a lot of times there's all these different social media channels, right? So you can do like a few hours of I used to do TikTok and do a few short videos on TikTok. I reply to people's comments. I will reply to people's emails. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Um, now that I'm on YouTube, I'm kind of transitioning a little bit. Short videos, I might spend a little bit longer doing a long YouTube video and editing it, and then the next days are not a lot of stuff at all. So it kind of my days kind of maybe 4 hours on one day and half an hour on another day
Mm.
type of concept. Yeah. So
So it's
yeah,
different now. But in the beginning, were you doing like we teach like do 3 pieces of content a day?
I did. I did.
Mm,
And I stuck on one platform.
mhm.
I just stuck on one platform because I believe in getting good on one platform and then expanding because I didn't have time for other platforms. When I was working full time, I just get like whoop, TikTok, 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 and that was it. And then, since then I've, repurposed some of those stuff to Instagram or Facebook and YouTube Shorts. But I think the nice thing about this is you can evolve and change, right? And then try new ways and try new things. And yeah, it's a great thing when the world is your oyster. The global business is your oyster. You can do whatever you want.
Do you get a lot of customers from throughout the world?
Yeah, I had a person from Kenya.
And yeah.
I had to Google that. Where is Kenya? I'm here in Ontario, Canada. So where is Kenya? And it was like, woo. Yeah, Australia. I had somebody from Italy the other day.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some
So
people from like Asia, Africa,
yeah, right? It's amazing.
It's great though.
I know it's great. It's just the when you open your doors to the global economy, that's why these numbers seem outrageous. Like $670,000 seems outrageous. But think about it. When you open your doors to the global economy, that's what makes it so possible and doable, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
especially in the online space.
Right. Hmm.
So, how did the community and the mentorship play a role in your journey to 6 figures and beyond?
Well, you know what? This community, like I said a little bit earlier, the support and the training and the help that people have in this community, what that does for me is it makes me want to share this with other people because I know what it is. Like I said, I had all those bumps and lumps and experiences with other things that I look at this and I go, wow, what a nugget of gold we have. So when if you found a nugget of gold, if you found, if you found it, like you'd be like, guys, come, there's like, look at all this, and this is what I feel like because the community is so supportive and helpful. The training is so amazing that the belief is there that I just cannot not help people. Like I cannot not recommend it. That's because I know what we have, right? So that's what the community does. Like I can just say I'm in complete confidence that if people jump in, they're like, and I get that all the time when people do jump in, they're like, "Oh my goodness, Wendy, I had no idea you were right." But they just can't even comprehend what's inside the community. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I can relate to you because I did, like, before I did this, I tried MLM, I tried affiliate marketing, I tried all that stuff. And yeah, like you, I appreciate the things that I learned, but
Yeah.
they all were missing. They were all missing pieces. Like, they didn't have a
Yeah.
community or something. You couldn't earn 100% profit. But with
Yeah.
this program, I find we have everything.
Yeah.
And then there's always more being added to it too, which is
Yeah.
even wild. So,
Right? Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I know.
The live events, like we met at a live event too.
We
Like,
met for the very
yeah,
first time. It was so
that was a lot of
awesome,
fun.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And you're
It
just
just put another
like
level
how
of
you are in the
realness.
videos. Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be able to see everybody, give them hugs, it just was like, again, it was that humanness coming, when online meets offline, it's just surreal. It's just amazing.
That made it so much more real. I'm going to see Michelle next month too.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
About that.
that's great.
So, what habits or routines helped you stay consistent and avoid burnout as you scaled up?
Mm. Oh, I find when you're an entrepreneur, and like I said, it goes back to a lot of trial and error for me, but what I have learned is um, when you are working your 2 hour workday, you need to be hyper focused on it. So when you put boundaries on, like, because when you're working at home, when you're working at home, you can get distracted and go, oh, the laundry just went. I'll just go throw it in, or this or that. And before you know it, it's like, oh, a half an hour went by, and you're like, oh, shoot, got to get back to work. So if you can be hyper focused, you have to treat it like a business because it is a business. But the fact that when you can sit there and choose when you do that 2 hours, I mean, if you want to do it in half an hour increments, that's fine. But when you're doing that half an hour increments, be all in, right? Be all in. And then be intentional about it. And don't let yourself down. I mean, sometimes I find, if you're going to a job, you have that accountability that you have to show up. There's a boss. You don't want to get fired, right? Like you're accountable to somebody else. But when you're your own boss, you're like, I can let myself down, whatever. But no, you have to treat it like a job, like a boss, like your own business, and just show up for yourself because you want to be your own boss. So you have to treat it like you're your own boss and go, no, Wendy, you're showing up, you're doing it. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
for
helps.
sure.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. You said
Good.
intentional. What do you mean by intentional about it? Can you go deeper with that?
Yeah, being intentional. Like if I write out what I'm going to do the next day, then that's intentionality. I'm purposeful in how I run my business. So like I'm like, hey, I'm meeting Dan on Wednesday, I'm doing this like I'm intentional. I'm writing it down. I'm
Mm,
not going to not do it,
mm. Yeah,
right? If I commit something to myself, I'm being intentional about what I'm doing versus if I feel like it, I'll do it. If I don't go by my feelings. I go because I wouldn't go to my 9 to 5. Yes, some days, yeah, of course I didn't feel like going to work, but I did it because of my job, right? Just like anything, certain days you might not feel like it, but you're going to show up and do it.
yeah, for sure. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
hmm
So, what's something you never expected when you started? A surprise or unexpected blessing from this journey?
Well, to make the amount of money I have, I never expected that. I mean, I was like, okay, if I could make an extra couple thousand a month, that's just would just help us greatly, right? I mean,
That's what you were thinking, like just
that's
even
what I was thinking. I didn't come into that with, I remember the very first month I started, and I don't know, Michelle was doing this thing about write a letter to yourself. I actually have it right here. I keep it on my desk. And it's like, write a letter to yourself. See, it says open April Fool's Day.
Mm,
I've since scribbled all over it.
okay.
But I wrote that letter and she said, put on there like some crazy number that you want to make. And I was like, oh my, because so then I was like, okay, $10,000 seemed crazy to me. Like, because I was aiming for two or one or two. Like, so 10,000 seemed like crazy big. Because that would take me like 3 months to make it my 9 to 5. Like, seriously, right? So then she said, now double it. I'm like, okay, seriously, double it? Or maybe I put 11,000. I must have put 11,000 because then I doubled it to 22,000. And I was like, oh, this is making my stomach hurt. Like, this is making me anxious. Like, I can't even fathom this. But I did it. I was an obedient, coachable person. So I wrote this letter, blah, blah, blah. And it was like to your future self saying, congratulating you on achieving what your goal was. And I put the 22,000 and stuff like this. And when I opened it, I sealed it, opened it on April Fool's Day, and I had went on to make 56,000 that month. Like, can you even like that's more than my 9 to 5 in 1 year, in
Man,
1 month.
how did
Like
that feel?
surreal. Like I still can't even like it's been over a year now and I still can't even wrap my brain around it. Yeah, I still can't wrap my brain around it. I'm very thankful to God because I know that it was just a blessing from him. Like, yeah, it was just a blessing.
Have you used this like extra income to travel? Has it
We have done a little bit of traveling. Um, I believe in, rewarding yourself and giving yourself some little perks, but we were short for retirement. So a lot of it has gone back into the bank in investments. But the power of having your money work for you is an amazing, amazing thing, which we never really fully grasp
okay?
until now, that you actually have some money to be able to have it working for you. It's
Mm,
a new concept that we're learning and understanding. So
yeah,
yes, we
to
have
go through
definitely
that
spent
process.
some and treated ourselves for sure, right? And I believe in like, maybe keep do 90% of investing and 10% of fun. So yeah, kind of how we roll around here.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like, I mean, you come into $600,000. Like, so how do you manage it, right? You got like
Right. Well,
some
you
people they
start to
might
learn
freak
about
out.
it. Incorporation. I mean, heck, I didn't know anything about incorporating because you got to incorporate, for tax purposes and all this other stuff. So I've learned a lot over this year. Um, and yeah, it's been a blessing, but it doesn't come without its learning and it has challenges, but good challenges. Good
That's a
challenge.
great, I think everyone would love to have that challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you had to start all over again, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently, if anything?
Well, if I had to start all over again, I wish this was when I first started the online space. Might have saved myself a lot of lumps and bumps,
But it
but
wasn't
then
out there. It wasn't even available.
it wasn't even out there. I know. And so I said Michelle wasn't ready for me yet. I wasn't ready for Michelle. Yeah, I wasn't ready for this yet. Um, so I don't know if I would do anything different because like I said, I believe the experiences of what I went through groomed me and helped me to be who I am today and achieve what I've achieved. And so, yeah, I just think I always say that when I came into this, and I think that's what maybe I have that maybe some people don't, and it's because of all those challenges, and maybe the same with you, is the belief in what we have. Because when you believe what you have, nothing can stop you, right? That inner belief, like I just believe that God's like, this is yours, Wendy. This is what I've been preparing you for. And so when I got it, I was like, this is a gift from God, and I'm just going to share it with the world because everyone needs this gift. I never believe in keeping things to myself. If I find something, like if I watch a good movie, I'm sharing it. I'm like, yeah, if you see that movie, oh my goodness, it's so good. You got to eat at that restaurant. That was amazing, right? Like, I don't get money for that. That's referral marketing.
Yeah, it
But
is.
I'm just one of those people that if I find something that's amazing and so good that I know can help people or that they're going to enjoy, like a restaurant or a movie, I share it. So I 1,000% believe this was God's gift to me. And I'm just so grateful that I was given it. And then I just can't help but share it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I feel the same way.
Hmm.
So you talked about coachable, like what does like being coachable mean to you, like inside of this community for like someone who's like new, or what would you say to them? What does that mean to be coachable?
Well, it's like Michelle telling me to write this letter, even though I was like, oh, I'm like, really? Like, I was a little bit, seriously, that's going to
Mm,
help me.
mm,
But I had to believe in what she was saying because she knew more about it than me. So my daughter is a runner. She went to school for running, and she had a coach. So her coach would encourage her to push past her limiting beliefs of how fast she thought she could go, would encourage her about how, what her goal was and say that she could do it, would say like, no, do it again. Okay, try this, try this. So a coach will encourage you to go beyond what you think and will believe in you before you believe in yourself. So you could borrow their belief. So this is what when Michelle would say to me or say to us in the community to do something, like, hey, aye, coach,
mm.
because I wanted it so bad. I wanted what an online income could give me and my family. So I wasn't going to let fear hold me back. I wasn't going to let pride hold me back. I wasn't going to let my limiting beliefs hold me back. I was going to push through them. So I did. And I wrote that letter to myself, even though in my mind I was like, yeah, will this really work? Like there was doubts, but I did it, right?
Mm.
So being coachable is doing it, whether you believe it or not at the time, pushing through, whether you believe it or not at the time, showing up for yourself, um, and just doing it, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So I have one more question for you, actually.
Sure.
So let's say someone's watching this right now, they're sitting on the fence. What would you say to them if they're unsure about joining this program?
Well, first off, I'd say do yourself a favor and just learn about it. I mean, I believe everybody needs to do their due diligence. People are smart enough to make a decision to know whether something's for them. And if they watch, this is what I love about this business too. I mean, there's a live webinar or a recorded one that you can watch to learn all about it. Everybody, like Dan or myself or whomever, will reply to your emails and we will answer your questions. It's like there's not like that pressure of, so are you ready? Are you ready? Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna like, no, we're gonna answer your questions so you can make an informed decision for you. Because people are smart enough to know if this is for them. I'm not foolish enough to think this is for everybody. I mean, anybody can do it, but I don't believe it's for everybody because not everybody's going to want to do it. But if you have that desire for change and your willingness to try something new, and you want what an online business can give you, freedom, the ability to make more income, than your job, and have that kind of flexibility with when and how you earn, then this just might be exactly what you're looking for, just like it was for Dan and I, right? So you have to look into it and just watch it and learn and ask your questions. And then once you feel confident or comfortable, like, yeah, like everybody reached out, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I said, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because starting anything new is you're nervous, right? But you also have that excitement because you're like, you see the potential in what it can do for you and your family, right? So that is the place that you go, this is for me, right? It creates that excitement in you. So yeah.